Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and welcome back to another GTA Q&A video, a weekly series where I take your questions from Twitter and hopefully very soon Snapchat, and I feature them all in this video. That's right. Now, if you want to get involved in the next one and possibly have your question answered by me and shown on screen, be sure to follow me on both Twitter and Snapchat. I'll have both those links in the description, as well as my QR code for Snapchat on the screen right now. You definitely don't want to miss out, and it's also cool to check out what I'm doing on there for some kind of behind the scenes sort of stuff. But we've got a lot of great questions today. Obviously, a lot of them are about the two teased updates that Rockstar talked about. So we're going to be answering a bunch of questions that you guys have, and it should be a pretty good one. So without the wait, let's not waste any more time and let's get it started. All right, our first question comes from Bobbert6385, who tweets at me, "When do you think the Finance and Felony DLC will come out? Hashtag AskBoss." So a lot of people have been asking me, how do you know the name? And that's kind of a side question, but it's the words that Rockstar bolded on their newswire. So we're all kind of assuming that's the DLC name. We don't officially know, but it is kind of catchy, you know, F&F, Finance and Felony. But when do you think it's going to release? A lot of the community thinks that it's going to be coming out on May 24th. And May 24th is not this Tuesday, so it's not 2 days from now, but it's next Tuesday. And that's kind of what I'm thinking as well. So what I actually believe is going to happen is that sometime, maybe during this week, Rockstar might announce some sort of information, whether it's confirming the release date, whether it's just talking a little bit more about what they're going to do in terms of the content and features that are going to be added, or if they're just going to be discussing, I guess, maybe future things for the update. But I expect that to happen this week with a release on May 24th. All signs are kind of pointing to that being a very likely release date. Obviously, it will all depend on what Rockstar do at the end of this week. If they go ahead and announce another event week, then it would kind of eliminate maybe that release date. So again, it's all going to be up to Rockstar for two things. If they release information this week that either confirm or help us confirm, and two, come Friday, if they announce another DLC update week or not. That will depend, but honestly, I'm expecting that DLC to release on May 24th. Which is basically in about a week and a half. All right, our next question comes from Cameron. He tweets at me, "If you could choose one feature to add in the Stunt or Finance and Felony update, what would it be and why? Hashtag AskBoss." So I'm going to give you one for each. I figured that would be the best way to answer this. For the Finance and Felony one, I think it would be awesome if they added the stock market in this update, especially because we're going to be creating our own organizations. How cool would it be to see our own organizations, you know, appear on Rockstar stock market or Los Santos stock market? That would be so cool. And it could also be a great way to earn some money as well. Because right now, the only real ways to earn money efficiently are heist missions and whenever Rockstar do like double RP and then shark cards, if that's kind of the route you want to take. So I think that would be awesome. As far as the stunting DLC, I'd like to see some crazy car races. So whether that's like attaching parachutes to your cars and the race theme is just like a giant skydive where you would like drop your car would be dropped out of a plane, and then at the last minute you would have to like pull a chute or something like that, and then it would turn into a normal race. That could be pretty cool. And obviously I'd love to see just crazy features like this. I hope the Stunt Races DLC is more than just wacky ramps and jumps. There needs to be cool features to go along with it that can really make for some longevity here and something that people won't just get burned out on. Our next question comes from Billy9622. We're taking a little bit of a break here. He tweets at me, "Do you ever think we will get to live in mansions on the coastline, by the Pacific Highway, and by the pier?" Billy, that's a great question. I've stated that we should be able to live in really almost every aspect of Los Santos and Blaine County. I think living in the houses on Vespucci Beach, on the Pacific Coast Highway, up in Blaine County and Sandy Shores, those are some of the best locations to a lot of people. And even myself think that those would be great spots for Grand Theft Auto Online homes and apartments. I've been to Vespucci Beach in real life, which is, of course, as you guys know, it's Venice Beach, and it's really cool. Those houses actually exist, and they're really awesome. They're so close to the water, and I think they would be great additions in Grand Theft Auto Online, and I'd love to see something like that added into the game. It's honestly just going to be up to Rockstar. However, with the last Executives and Other Criminals DLC, which is kind of what this Finance and Felony is based on, they added a new sort of home. They added the stilt homes. So is it possible that, this new finance DLC could add some new style homes and places to live? Absolutely. And I think that would be great. So that's wishful thinking and something I do hope is going to come. All right, our next question is going to come from Canon Treeblick, and this will be a short one. He says, could Rockstar release info about the new update this Tuesday because of last Tuesday? #AskBoss. So actually, that information came out on a Monday. It came out 1 day from tomorrow, or 1 week from tomorrow, I should say. And I do, as I kind of mentioned in my previous question that I talked about, I think Rockstar will release some information this week. And as always, I'll be one of the first guys to cover it on my channel, so you guys know all the details and are fully informed on what is going to be coming out. Because as I expect, they'll probably announce a release date or either announcement of some of the content that looks to be coming up. So yes, I 100% think that. Our next question comes from Scott. He tweets at me, do you think we will have to buy an HQ every time our VIP time runs out? #AskBoss. So this was an interesting question, Scott, and I think it underlines an even greater question that we have. But that's okay, because Rockstar haven't announced a lot of details, so it's okay to have questions like this. I'm not sure how they're going to do the VIP system because, as you guys know, you can only be a VIP for a limited amount of time. And that's okay right now because your VIP activities and things you can do are, for the most part, pretty limited. Whether you do a VIP challenge or VIP work, they're fun to do within a session, but it's not the end of the world once you lose your VIP status. However, with these organizations, it really doesn't make sense for the VIP timer to run out, especially if this is a long-term business venture that Rockstar's kind of setting you up with. It wouldn't make sense for your VIP timer to run out, then have to get new bodyguards, then have to establish a new organization and buy a new headquarters. So I don't think that's going to be the case, and I do think they are going to tweak the VIP system in a way that makes it easier to remain with one organization, one VIP, and one, I guess, set of bodyguards or other executives that you have in your organization. Time will definitely tell, and Rockstar, I'm sure, will touch on this because they did make a big point about how the VIP timer is going to end and will, switch off after a few hours. So hopefully we will see some information on that soon, because that is a question that I have and I know many of you guys have as well. This is kind of a broad question, but it comes from Amin490. He tweets at me, what content do you expect in the new Stunt Academy DLC? #AskBoss. I'd like to see a lot of crazy new things in the creator in terms of what people can do with launching new races. I'd obviously love to see some new vehicles, like brand new vehicles. It's been a while since we've got some of those, so brand new vehicles would be nice. Some new racing gear would be really cool, like getting our characters into the kind of part of doing these stunt races, and then maybe just some nice unique features that are added along with it. Obviously, this DLC doesn't need to be geared towards really weapons or anything crazy like that, but maybe even opening up the stunt arena or something like that would be a great new feature. So that's kind of what I expect. I hope it's more than just like bare bones tracks and little flips we can do, but of course, time will tell, and I guess we're just gonna have to find out when Rockstar does release more information. Our next question comes from James McLeod. He tweets at me, #AskBoss. How many different HQs/warehouses do you think will be added in the Finance and Felony DLC? So I would imagine a handful, and I would imagine they would be at various different locations, because I said it wouldn't make sense to only have one headquarters, because then you literally have everyone in the lobby who's trying to be a VIP and starting up an organization going to one area. So I think it's going to be very similar to the apartments you're going to have, at least in Los Santos, which is where I imagine 90% of these will be. 8 to 10 locations of various organization headquarters that you can choose from. And I think that'll be plenty for starters. I don't know if they're going to vary based on features they provide or the view they have, or if they're going to be more expensive based on the location and proximity they are to other things in Los Santos. That's another thing that we're just going to have to find out. But I would imagine it would be a handful, at least 5. I would say at a minimum 5, probably at a maximum maybe like 10 or 15. I think that's my best guess. I couldn't see Rockstar doing too much more, maybe adding more in a future update. Mr. Entity Pro tweets at me, what new weapons would you like to see in this upcoming DLC? #AskBoss. I'm guessing he's talking about Finance and Felony. So the last 2 DLC weapons we got were a pistol, I think it was the revolver, and then an assault rifle, the compact rifle, I think it was like the AK-74U. So that was a pretty good weapon. The revolver's pretty cool too. I want to see some epic weapons, you know. Hopefully it's not anything handheld. I'd like to see maybe an explosive. That would be kind of cool. Finance and Felony, you know, maybe some explosives, something like that. Maybe a cool sniper rifle, something along those lines would be nice. Just something different. I'd like to stick away from assault rifles, SMGs, and handhelds. Anything outside of that realm, and I think you'll be good to go, and I think you'll have a good reaction to whatever the weapons would be. But maybe something stealthy, maybe something explosive. So change it up, Rockstar. Do something kind of different like that, and I think you'll be on good terms. All right, and our last question today comes from Kensley, who tweeted me, do you think Rockstar will make changes to the yacht since they mention executives and other criminals? Hashtag AskBoss. You're right, this is kind of the successor DLC to executives and other criminals, which obviously introduced super yachts into the game. Do I think they're going to make changes to the yacht? I don't think so, but if they did, that would be a nice welcome surprise. And I've made plenty of videos in the past talking about some of the changes I'd like to see for yachts in Grand Theft Auto Online. I think that there needs to be some updates, some cool features added, and if Rockstar ever were to surprise us and do something cool like that, where they just introduce some new yacht features, that would be absolutely outstanding. And I know I'm saying this a lot during this DLC, but we really just are going to have to find out if Rockstar do release new information and when the DLC does come out, because there's only so much you can guess about with so little information we know, which is one picture and of course one paragraph. But anyways, that's all the questions that I'm going to be answering in today's Q&A video. Hopefully you did enjoy. Be sure to follow me on both Twitter and Snapchat, which are linked below if you want to get featured in the next video. If you did go on to enjoy, a like rating would of course be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With out of the way, guys, like I said, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.